This is every sniper in Tower Defense Simulator. That includes the sniper, hunter, and ranger. And I will be using these 3 units to beat normal, molten, and fallen mode without farms or buff units. All to answer the question of, can you beat Tower Defense Simulator with only snipers? For the first map in this video, we will be playing on Toy Board, and of course selecting normal mode. But the reason why I picked this map was because one sniper can actually cover pretty much the whole entire map, so that's what I'm gonna place right off the bat. We go through the first couple waves like a breeze, and I think it's time for me to get a second sniper. Following with the hunter. I mean, man, just look at this dude. Man's legit cranking on these NPCs. Now it's round 7 and we have our first normal boss. And just with the click of a button to upgrade my hunter, this normal boss is going to the ground. By the time it's wave 9, because I upgraded my hunter, I'm able to kill these shadow zombies easily. And here comes the first Neocrosmer. Now the biggest problem in this challenge is that the sniper is made to do more damage but shoot less. So units like the Neocrosmer that spawns very weak units will be making the weak units be shot, not the strong units. But we do end up taking out the Neocrosmer, and now we have our first giant boss, which I think we're gonna barely make it. And for some reason here I decide to make my snipers shoot the strongest units only, but we end up surviving the round. But before I knew it, bolt units came out of nowhere. And with just barely surviving them, it was now round 20, and I have 4 hunters and 4 snipers. Let's go ahead and make it 5 hunters. And with wave 20 already having so much that I probably would barely survive because it had 3 big bosses, a Neocrosmer, and for some hidden bosses, I decide that what I want to do is skip the wave and make even more zombies come. At this point, I knew that this was game over, but another thing that I noticed was that I didn't place a single ranger, which was the best sniper in the game. So for some reason, I forgot to place the best sniper in the game. So I knew I had to try this once again on the toy box map, except this time I remembered to place the ranger. So when wave 13 came, this time I was prepared for anything because I got this little guy right here. That maybe isn't so little, but he's gonna help me out a lot. And on round 18, I got once again another ranger. Because you know what they say, double the guns, double the power. And by the time it was round 20, I think I was prepared. I set both of my rangers to shoot the strongest units, not the first, so they will be focusing on the giant bosses, while my other units shoot the weaker ones. But somehow after all of this, a couple bolt units get past, and I end up losing once again. But there was no way I was gonna give up already. I still had to beat 3 different modes with just sniper units, and I can't even get past the first. So I knew what I had to do, and that was to call in some backup. My friend Luke joined in, and we were hoping that this would be just what we needed to beat normal mode. We played on a map called Iceville, and everything seemed to go well until we realized that this map has very limited space for us to place our snipers. So I made sure to tell him to place your snipers to where you had the most amount of space possible, but he actually did not listen to me whatsoever. But you know what? It is fine. We flew through the first levels, and everything seemed to be going good for us. I spam skipped levels as if there was no tomorrow. As our power grew, so did my motivation, and I was starting to think this was the run. And when wave 16 had arrived, so had the giant boss, and then I realized that I had to make a choice. Spend my money that I've been saving up for the past 3 rounds to upgrade my unit so we can beat this boss, or continue saving my money to get ranger, which I knew would probably make me lose. So like any logical person, I upgraded my sniper. I actually was an idiot and bought the ranger. And thank God I did, because we almost died to the giant boss. But what I'm not happy about is how I skipped the wave. If we go back about 10 seconds, you will see where I make the grave mistake of skipping the wave, making even more zombies come. Which is exactly what I did on my solo run. And because of these mistakes, we had to spend all of our money making sure these units can't get past. And once again, we survived just by a thread. When wave 20 had came, sending 3 giant bosses at us, I started to realize that the odds of us surviving this round was almost impossible. And as me and Luke thought of how we're gonna beat Molten and Fallen mode, I suddenly started to realize that it didn't matter if I won or not. I had such an amazing time editing and recording this video that even if I didn't win, I know you guys would enjoy this video. And in the end, we ended up losing to officially say that it is impossible to beat Tower Defense Simulator with only snipers.